Welcome back to NFL Imperialism, where I'll spin for selection and direction, and teams attack and expand until only one team remains. Today's episode has a fun twist with crazy results. It's the first to score wins, including touchdowns, field goals, and even safeties. And yes, some teams do win on a safety in today's video. As always, player steals per successful invasions are on, and so is the free agent pool, where expansion rewards the team of the player from a currently eliminated squad or a current NFL free agent. And for the first time in NFL Imperialism, I am allowing quarterbacks to be in the free agent pool, which means they can swap between teams. And not to mention our catalog of power-ups today, we have Afterlife, Clone, Bandit, Double Trouble, and 3 new ones. We have Artillery, Insurance, and Gifted. And one more thing, this episode is part of the mainline Imperialism series, which means we will have updated stats and standings in the record books at the end of the video. So let's place our power-ups to begin the final Imperialism on Madden 24, first to score edition. Alright, so let's place our power-ups starting with Insurance, going to the state of Idaho. Next up, we'll have Bandit, and that would be going to the state of Arkansas. Next up is Artillery, which will be landing on Iowa. And then we'll have Gifted, going to the state of Connecticut. And then there is Clone, which will be going to South Carolina. Final 2, we'll start with Double Trouble, and that's going to Delaware. And then that leaves us just with Afterlife, going to the great state of South Dakota. So our 7 power-ups have been placed, and this gives us our official map for first to score NFL Imperialism, beginning now at turn number 1. Well, who's going to kick us off with turn number 1? It's going to be the Giants. That being said, the Giants are the first team eliminated in today's video. I mean, who knows? All it takes is a score first. It's going to be the Battle of New York. Now, for the instance of this video, whoever gets the ball first is completely random, but what I do know is that the home team basically gets their first choice. So the Jets won the toss here. They're going to start with the football. They get any points on the board, they beat the Giants. Here's an early challenge for the Jets. It's a 3rd down and 4, but we have a completion. The Jets are close to midfield. Another 3rd down for Aaron Rodgers, and the Jets already in a little bit of trouble trying to scramble out of the pocket. Has to throw it away. They can't kick a field goal from there. The Giants are going to get the ball. If you're the Giants here, you have to move the chains. You cannot punt the football from this distance. Daniel Jones has the 1st down to the 26. Looks like the Giants are getting close to midfield. Daniel Jones wants more than that, though. We have a flag. Could this be pass interference? That would be a brutal call if so, because that will put him close to field goal range. Pass interference is called. I think Sauce Gardner is the guilty one on this, and the Giants just got moved up to the 30-yard line. To add salt to the wound, they want more than a field goal, going for a touchdown. No, Sauce Gardner redeems himself. He has an interception, a costly mistake for the Giants. They just needed a field goal. Rodgers got a new chance, but look at this. We have a safety. Oh, come on now. That should have been a safety. Rodgers got sacked in the end zone, but lucky enough, the refs ruled him at the 1-yard line. I don't really know about this. He was going backwards. Yeah, that's a safety. Come on, refs. Looks like Rodgers just handed the refs a $20 bill and said move on with your lives, because they just did not give the Giants that call. But either way, the Jets have to punt the football from their 13. The Giants have a golden opportunity to get this game right back. Play action pass on 2nd and 9. Completion inside the 10. Dropping at the 5-yard line. Daniel Jones gets this one. The Darius Slayton 1st and goal. They should win this game. The Giants want more than a field goal, however. Just a quick slant. It's a touchdown to Darren Waller, who's actually retired and 100% has CTE, but who cares? The Jets did not deserve to win this. The Giants pull off the first upset in today's first to score video. After seeing Aaron Rodgers was only an 83 overall, and the fact that he likes to skip mandatory OTAs to take drugs somewhere in the middle of Africa, I passed on him. The Giants could use Sauce Gardner. And once again, the Jets are crashing in New York, with no pun intended. So now every player on the New York Jets joins the free agency pool. We're going to the Arizona Cardinals. Definitely 2 interesting teams to start this video with, but the Cardinals will be going towards their northeast. Well, thankfully, New Mexico exists, because as we all know, it's an unwritten rule that the Denver Broncos do not play a game in Imperialism until we're like 25 turns in. And so yes, this counts as expansion. The best player currently in the free agency pool is a person that just got eliminated last game. That's Quentin Williams from the New York Jets. Next selection will be the Kansas City Chiefs. I'd imagine if they start with the ball, they automatically win. Let's see what they do. They're going out west. Looks like they'll finally be proving their name valid and going to the state of Kansas itself. I know there's nothing exciting about a player pickup being a left tackle, but this is actually a huge upgrade for the Chiefs. Tyron Smith, a 95 overall left tackle. Next up will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is one of those teams that is forced to play a game. They have Atlanta above them, and they have Tampa underneath them. Whatever it's closest to with the team they'll be matched up with, which will be the Atlanta Falcons. Sure enough, we'll be heading to the ATL. You know, the good thing of it being first to score version is that I can just be lazy and I can live submit, and that's exactly what we're going to do right here. Who is going to be the first to score? It's going to be the the Atlanta Falcons. They won on a field goal. Damn, how many more quarterbacks does Atlanta need? They already got Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. Now they're getting Josh Allen. Oh, wait. And that being said, Atlanta begins their march into South Florida. The Jaguars and Jets eliminated. Nothing too crazy yet, but it could get crazy now. The Miami Dolphins. And that's mainly because the Dolphins literally have nowhere else to go other than to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So we're already down to one Florida team after this game. Buccaneers start the football here at home at Raymond James Stadium. Baker Mayfield in some trouble, and he takes a sack for a loss of 13 yards to the 6-yard line. Thankfully, Mike Evans just saved him right here with this first down completion. It actually picked up all 23 yards they needed. They moved the chains. But can Baker go 2 for 2 on third down completions? He's going to lob this one up, trying to get him on the run. Chris Godwin just came up short with it. It's a 4th and 8. Third down and 10 from the 31. Can they keep this drive alive? Yes, they will. To Braxton Berrios. 2nd and 10 from the 44. Winds up. Tua has a completion to Tyreek Hill across the numbers to the 36. 2nd and 10. Tua once again completes this one to Jalen Waddle. You know, Miami, I full-heartedly agree. Winning on a field goal is completely overrated. That's why we'll do this. Winning on a touchdown to Jonnu Smith, and the Dolphins will be the only team remaining out of Florida. A lot of good players I could have given the Dolphins, but I gave them the best positional upgrade being Levante David at middle linebacker. Well, needless to say, that did not take very long to narrow down our options in Florida. It's not even hurricane season yet, and Florida's already getting wiped out, but who we have next? The Cardinals are going again. Don't think you guys will be getting away with the expansion this time, or maybe you will. Nah, I'm just playing. How does the Cowboys sound, Arizona? Looks like the Cardinals are just dominating them in the trenches. I mean, they're picking up 5 yards every single run. They're already at the 44. Well, you can't run the ball here. Can Kyler Murray actually pass the football? I'm not surprised whatsoever. Of course he runs. Oh, there's a flag too. Man, so many of these teams absolutely hate field goals. I absolutely can't blame them either. Here's Kyler Murray diving in, and we have the biggest upset today because the Cowboys sit alone at the #1 spot in my Imperialism leaderboards. I wonder if that's going to change. So the Cardinals have already picked up 2 defensive studs in this video, being Quentin Williams and now Micah Parsons. Oh man, the grass has never looked so green. The roses have never looked so red. The Cowboys are eliminated. Speaking of red, what happened to the Southwest? Did communism finally find its way to America? Must be coming from that border that Trump's always yapping about. Looks like we're drawing blood pretty early on in this video. The Saints are up next. Here's our first power-up opportunity of the day, in which it's not going to hit it. It's going to go towards the East Coast. But you know what? An expansion's pretty good because there's a lot of players in the pool right now, including CeeDee Lamb, the new wide receiver #1 in New Orleans. That expansion is followed up by the LA Rams. The Rams do not have a choice here. They have to play somebody, and they're going to go down south. Well, it's not like we see this matchup every single Imperialism episode. In the Battle of LA, the Chargers looking to draw first blood. It's the 2nd and 6 for Justin Herbert. He throws on a spin move and gets this one past the 50 to the 47 with a first down and 10 to Quentin Johnston. No, Aaron Donald definitely hurts the Rams. They're not bringing the pressure on the defensive line. The Chargers are just cruising through the chains right now. It's a 1st and 10 to the 36. Handoff, he finds a gap. We have a first down. We're to the 20-yard line. Field goal wins it. Wow, would you look at that? Somebody actually wants to kick a field goal today. The Chargers from the 18-yard line. This should be a gimme, and the LA Chargers win this one over the Rams. All 6 of their fans are going crazy right now. Yeah, this acquisition was a no-brainer. Every other receiver in this room right here is one drop pass from working at their local Burger King. Cooper Kupp is going to do wonders to this receiving room. Getting eliminated because the other team scored 1 single field goal is absolute cheese, but welcome to First to Score Imperialism. So that's 5 teams down. We're going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Time for the Northeast to have a little bit of trouble. They're going towards their southeast. I have no clue how you're going to arrow this exact, but I think this goes closer to New Jersey. Not going to give them Delaware. Definitely sucks because there's a power up on Delaware. Still a win-win situation. They're getting the best right guard in the game in Zach Martin. Next up will be the Buffalo Bills. This is a guaranteed matchup against 3 possible teams. Who's it closest to? Well, let's just hope the Eagles didn't do all that for nothing. Would you look at that? The Bills actually starting with the football in a sudden death situation. If only this could have happened in the 2022 AFC divisional round. 2nd and 4, Josh Allen keeps this one, stays between the numbers, has a completion to the 30. They're in field goal range to win this game. As long as Josh Allen doesn't turn over the football, we should be fine. James Cook with a first down. We're inside the 18. From the 7, Josh Allen to the end zone. James Cook has the touchdown. I just lost my voice. What the hell? Yeah, Bills win. Let's see if I can get this sentence out without sounding like a pubescent 12 years old. The Bills will get A.J. Brown. Much needed pickup. Well, red is controlling the South right now, and blue is now controlling the North, just like real politics. I feel like this is a much needed time to get a shout out to my colorblind community. These are absolutely awful color borders. I'm sorry you have to witness this. Well, anyways, up next, we have the Carolina Panthers. If they can unite the Carolinas, they would get a power up. Let's see if they do. Ooh, it's close. Sure enough, it hits upstate South Carolina. They're going down, getting an expansion, and getting the clone power up. So the clone power up actually is really helpful for Carolina. Essentially, I'm going to randomly spin a wheel with all unclaimed states on it. Whatever it lands on, Carolina will get another land area, and it's going to act as a double life for them as well. So first, starting with the expansion, the first ever quarterback taken in the pool will be Jalen Hurts going to Carolina. So now here's the wheel with the 15 remaining unclaimed territories. Whichever one it lands on, the Carolina Panthers will be setting up shop, a new land area in Utah. Well, welcome to Utah, Carolina Panthers. I wonder if they'll still be able to drink alcohol. I don't really know if anybody's scared to beat the Panthers twice, but here's the Commanders. They could definitely benefit from an expansion. Let's see what happens here. Well, isn't this just the luckiest break ever? It goes over the Chesapeake Bay into this piece of land right here, which is actually owned by Virginia. I have no clue what it's called, but this is an expansion. Just because Dak Prescott's a 90 overall, I'm going to help out the Commanders a little bit. Jaden Daniels was their starting quarterback, not anymore. This is so cursed. Next to go will be the Cleveland Browns. Time for some trouble in the Great Lakes region. They're going up towards Detroit probably. Yeah, this couldn't have been a more perfect arrow. They're gunning for the Detroit Lions. It's the Browns and Lions. Good starting field position for the Detroit Lions from their own 39. Jared Goff in a little bit of trouble, has to throw this one out of bounds. Now make it 3rd and 10 after this incompletion from their 39. So here's the 3rd down and 10. Look out. 3 Browns just took out Jared Goff, including Myles Garrett with a half a sack completion right there. The Lions punted away to the Cleveland Browns. 2nd and 8 for Deshaun Watson. Between the numbers, completion to Amari Cooper to the 46. That was actually Elijah Moore, but the point still stands. They're now in Detroit territory and they want more. Another completion. This one's to the 21. And that's by former Bronco Jerry Jeudy. 3rd and 5 from the 15. Unless we have no interceptions, we should be fine. That's a touchdown to Jerry Jeudy, the new addition to the Cleveland Browns. 2 catches in a row, and the Browns take down a juggernaut here in Detroit. I absolutely cannot believe I just said that sentence, but the Browns will get Amon-Ra St. Brown. And so the Browns will take control of Michigan, which is ironic because the drinking water up in Flint is also that same color. Well, now the turn number 8, we're going to get the Houston Texans. The Texans will be taking their armies towards the northwest, in which by going northwest, it's going to breach through northwest Texas, owned by the Arizona Cardinals. Can the Cardinals complete the Texas sweep? Well, the Texans will start the football. Here's a handoff to Joe Mixon, trying to find the outside. He gets it. This is a 1st down and more. Can he go to the house on the first play? Nobody will cross midfield. That's good enough close to field goal range. Looks like we're seeing an abrupt end to the Cardinals run this video. That's another 1st down. A field goal will win this. But we always know there's a bigger fish, and we know everything's bigger in Texas. The Cardinals could beat one Texas team, but they couldn't beat the better one, the Houston Texans. Texans score first, and they will beat the Cardinals. Well, I mean, who cares if JJ Watt comes out of retirement? We got his replacement right here. And this also means we don't have to deal with 50 Shades of Red in the Southwest. The Texans now own Texas to Arizona, and now 8 teams have been eliminated. Next selection will go to the Chicago Bears. There was a lot going on around them in the Midwest, but they're going to go down to the South, which from the arrow conveniently just hits Kentucky. This gives them an expansion and a free player. Yeah, Caleb Williams hasn't even played a snap yet, and he's already assembling the Avengers around him. They're going to add Zach Martin. I was definitely fighting the urge to not give them Aaron Rodgers there. Good thing I did it, but here's the Indianapolis Colts, who very well could land on the Chicago Bears with this arrow, but they will be going the other way, which gives us a head-on collision with the Cincinnati Bengals. Not a good look for the Colts, considering they're already the last place in the Imperialism series. Colts are looking to change the tide of history in their Imperialism standings. It's a 3rd and 14 for Joe Burrow and a flag. He throws it out of bounds. What's the call? Oh, this is awful. It's holding on the offense. They're just going to decline that. The Colts are going to get the football. Here's the Colts handoff to Jonathan Taylor. He hits the outside, puts on a move, and he picks up 7 yards. Already from the 47, 3 yards will get him past midfield. There you have it right there. Are they close to field goal range with that completion to Michael Pittman? They most certainly are, and the Colts want more than that. Another completion. This one gets them to the 19. They want more than 3. They want 7. Handoff to Jonathan Taylor, and the Colts will get a win in the Imperialism series over the Bengals. I couldn't dare to replace Anthony Richardson seeing the way he played, so I'm going to give him the star X-Factor receiver from the Bengals, Jamar Chase, which means Joe Burrow has hit the free agency pool. Whoever expands next could be pretty lucky. The Lions and Bengals are out in the Great Lakes region, and now we're going down south to the Saints. This is a real possibility for a power-up, and it looks like they'll be going northwest. I'd like to imagine that's a lucky break for the Saints. They just barely missed Texas, and they'll be expanding to Arkansas and getting the Bandit power-up. Now, the Bandit power-up all comes down to luck. Essentially, I'm going to roll the wheel twice. Whatever it lands on, what 2 teams it lands on, this team will get to steal 2 players from. So first, starting with the expansion, I couldn't pass on this. You know I had to do it. Back to the Bayou, Joe Burrow on the Saints. As for the Bandit power-up, 2 free player steals from 2 random teams. Who are they going to steal from first? The 49ers. That is huge. Is this the greatest expansion ever? They just got Joe Burrow, and now they're getting the best running back in the league in Christian McCaffrey. And they're still going to get another player steal from this team right here, the Cleveland Browns? Oh my goodness. This is absolutely unfair. 100% the greatest expansion in Imperialism history. I don't think I've ever seen a team get this much stacked without playing a game. I mean, all their player acquisitions so far include CeeDee Lamb, Joe Burrow, Christian McCaffrey, and Myles Garrett. It would be funny if they lose the very next game they play. Here comes the Cleveland Browns without Myles Garrett. How do they answer back after losing their best player? They're going towards the northwest. And what would have been a dead-on collision with the city of Chicago actually goes to the state of Indiana. So can the Colts complete the Ohio sweep, taking down the Bengals and now maybe the Browns? Looks as the Colts start with the football first this time. A handoff to Jonathan Taylor picks up about 4 yards. In motion is Jamar Chase. Another handoff to Jonathan Taylor. This one goes nowhere. 3rd and 8. Can the Browns force a defensive stop without Myles Garrett? This pass is going to pick up nothing. 4th and 8. The Colts are punting the football. 2nd and 6 for the Browns. Here's a pass to David Njoku, who gets the first down for the Browns. From the 39 is the Cleveland Browns looking downfield in the middle of the numbers. It's a completion to Amari Cooper, and he has a juke. He's going to run for the end zone, and the Browns will score first and win against the Indianapolis Colts. What a midfield move by Amari Cooper. He made the catch in stride and just put on the ankle breaker right here. Made a dead shot for the end zone. Browns win. No Myles Garrett? No problem. We'll just add another star in the receiving room with Jamar Chase. Well, all that matters is that the Colts are taking baby steps. At least they're winning games in Imperialism now. 10 teams have been eliminated. We pick up with the Minnesota Vikings. Another possible power-up in play for the Vikings. Instead, they won't get it. And that's because, unfortunately, they'll just scrape through Wisconsin, meaning we have the Packers versus the Vikings. Packers are already challenged in their home turf. It's a 3rd down and 6 for Jordan Love. Between the numbers, almost intercepted, but they're going to have to punt either way. 2nd and 1 for the 39. Here's the former Green Bay Packer, Aaron Jones, getting tackled for a loss. 3rd down and 5. I guess what comes around comes around. Here's a blitz to the Packers, and a broken up. Attended for Jordan Addison. Jair Alexander makes a stop. The Vikings will be punting now. 3rd and a long 10 for the Green Bay Packers. Jordan Love keeps the football, looking for a pass, but he takes a sack. We're going to have our 3rd punt of the game. 2nd and 9 for JJ McCarthy. Completion to Aaron Jones. 1st down past midfield. All right, 3rd down and 10. Does anybody want to score first or score at all? In matter of fact, here's JJ McCarthy stepping up in the pocket. Going to run for 10 plus more. Has the 1st down to the 32. 3rd down and goal. Unless everything goes wrong for the Vikings here, they should be fine. There's a touchdown to Aaron Jones. I mean, that's just the worst possible way to do it if you're Green Bay. The Vikings will be moving on, taking over Wisconsin. So Jair Alexander will be joining the Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Jones scoring that touchdown is like a taste of your own medicine. I mean, you couldn't have had it the worst way for Green Bay. Next landing will be the Tennessee Titans. They're kind of in no man's land. Who will they be faced up against? This is going to the southwest. Well, that's an absolutely brutal arrow landing. We've seen the Saints get loaded up these past few turns, and now the Titans have a David versus a Goliath situation. Let's see if they can score first. Yeah, I have absolutely zero faith in Tennessee. I'm going to live sim this one. Let's just see who scores first. Tennessee starts with the football. They couldn't score first, but guess who scores first? It's the Saints. Go figure. So now the Saints will have a good 1-2 punch in the cornerback position. They're going to add L'Jarius Sneed. And now New Orleans will start their expedition to the East Coast. 20 remaining teams, 5 remaining power-ups. Here's the Washington Commanders. I believe they've already gotten one expansion. Will they get another one? Don't think so. So that era went dead north, landed in Maryland, leaves us with a matchup of the Ravens versus Commanders. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I forgot I gave the Commanders Dak Prescott. Let's just hope he doesn't mess this one up, and that's going to be an incompletion. 2nd with 10 yards to go. Dak Prescott's going to take a sack. No, he gets rid of the football. Okay. So 3rd and 10, they're going to stay alive. They run, check down, and this is going to pick up the 1st down with Austin Eckler to the 45. 2nd and 3, Dak Prescott completion made. We're in field goal range. Ravens need to force a turnover or else they're screwed. Dak Prescott just dumps this off to Austin Eckler. They're getting close to an end zone. Ravens on their last breath right now. Austin Eckler takes the hands off. He bounces to the outside, has a corner for the end zone, and he gets it. The Ravens fall with an upset to the Washington Commanders. Are you serious? Well, the best positional upgrade for the Commanders will be Mark Andrews, and this is going to leave a lot of good players into the free agency pool, including Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. Just like the Colts, the Ravens are another team that's just a little too low in the Imperialism leaderboards. We'll see how this changes at the end of the video. Lots of good squads are out pretty early in this video, and we're going to Miami. Well, as you guessed it, the moral of the story for Miami, as always, from their starting position is that they do not have much choices at all to make, and their only choice they can make is to play the Atlanta Falcons. Let's hope they can win this and then finally have some directional arrow spins they could use. Kirk Cousins is going to throw in between the numbers, should have been intercepted by Jalen Ramsey. So 3rd down and 6 directly from midfield. This is going to be another broken up pass. 4th down and 6. Are they going to go for it? Guess not. They'll be punting the football. That's the correct option. This punt sails out of bounds pretty early at the 24. Atlanta has its chance. Now it's to the Dolphins. Tua completes this one to the 42. So 2nd and 10. We got another completion. This one's going to get across midfield to the 39. Once again to Jonnu Smith. Tua has plenty of time in the pocket. That's why he's going to run for it himself. Can he get the end zone? He will. Tua ends this one for the Miami Dolphins, beating the Atlanta Falcons. Close enough. Welcome back, No Fly Zone. We have Jesse Bates, we have Jordan Poyer, we have Jalen Ramsey. This is definitely the best secondary right now. And finally, the Dolphins will free themselves from the shackles of just living in Florida. They'll finally escape and they'll actually have a decision where they want to go now. Down to 18 teams on turn 15, we have a lot of power-ups remaining as well. Here's the Chicago Bears. They have a chance at one of the power-ups. I don't think they'll get it. It will be close, however. We'll talk about the lucky break of a century. The Chicago Bears just barely grazed through the border of Iowa. That's going to give them the expansion and the power-up of artillery. The artillery power-up is just in its name. Essentially, the team cannot use the air to win the game. It means they cannot kick a field goal to beat this said team that just got this power-up. You know, I think this is one of those rare instances where the expansion player is actually better than getting the power-up. Lamar Jackson, now starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams didn't even get to see the field once. There's really no telling if this power-up will be useful at all. We've only seen like 3 teams lose on a field goal today anyways, but here's the Saints. The Saints share borders with a lot of tough teams. What's it gonna land on? I mean, could this be one of the most Mickey Mouse imperialism teams ever? They're getting another expansion. There's possibly better options than Quentin Williams to give the Saints, but they're already stacked at a lot of positions. This one definitely helps them a lot. I'm just waiting for the moment they finally face a real team like the Kansas City Chiefs. Funny enough, this could actually very well happen. It's gonna be close. Well, I didn't know I just became an enlightened prophet. Something tells me I need to put $1 gazillion on black on a game of roulette. Patrick Mahomes is yet to pass the football, but he's gonna have to do it here on 3rd down and 6. Up the middle, completion made. We're close to field goal range too. This is usually automatic range for Harrison Butker. This is the so long into the Saints run in this video. If this kick is through the uprights, which obviously it is, the Kansas City Chiefs, the only team better to beat the Saints here. So now the Chiefs will add their 3rd 99 overall onto their offense with Christian McCaffrey, and this is gonna leave a lot of good players falling into the free agency pool. Not gonna lie, I was cheering for the Saints, but truth be told, even with all those acquisitions, the Chiefs are still just the more complete team. Now to turn number 16, we're finally going to the West Coast with the Seattle Seahawks. This is a guaranteed expansion. Just see whatever it's gonna be closest to. I think that's closest to Idaho, which now means the Seahawks are making money moves. They're gonna get an expansion, a free player, and what I believe is the best power-up on the map today. This is insurance. Now the insurance power-up is probably one of the best on the map today. Essentially, this team cannot lose off one score. They have to lose on 2 possessions, meaning a field goal and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns, or 2 field goals. And for their player acquisition, even though this dude's been passed around like a hacky sack, it's Myles Garrett. Completely game-changing power-up for the Seattle Seahawks, but we're going to the East Coast now with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They do have an expansion possibility, but it's going to be a very hard chance to get it. Let's see. Will I stand corrected? This hits the very top of West Virginia. Steelers going to add a pretty solid player. Yes, I know this is completely cursed, but they desperately need a solid quarterback. They're going to get Joe Burrow. We're actually filling out the map relatively faster than normal. Here's the Denver Broncos. This team usually loves to expand, but they do have a lot of teams touching their borders. Let's see what they do here. Looks like we're going to get the great Super Bowl 50 rematch. The only problem and difference is that these teams are completely garbage compared to how they were back in 2015. Truth be told, I do not want to sit through this dumpster fire of a matchup, so we're going to live sim this one. Who is going to score first, the Broncos or the Panthers? The Panthers scored first on a safety? Are you kidding me? I mean, just to be sure, I'm checking the score summary. Yeah, it says team safety 27 seconds into this game, which now means Patrick Surtain will be joining the Carolina Panthers. I mean, that's just absolutely hysterical. Leave it to the Denver Broncos to lose a first to score video on a safety. A safety! And with that absolute abysmal loss by the Denver Broncos, that leaves us with the second half of the league. The top 16 teams on the map standing right here. I mean, you seriously can't have anything nice in Denver. We're going to the LA Chargers. They have 3 possible options, whatever it's closest to, and it's going to the southwest, which is going to find the LA Chargers going on a date into the desert, which is owned by the Houston Texans. Could we see another powerhouse eliminated? The Texans are on their heels right now at the 49-yard line is the LA Chargers, and now they're going to be at the 30-yard line. Field goal range more than enough. Last chance for the Texans. Play action for Justin Herbert going towards the end zone. Oh, it's so over. Chargers to end it. There's the touchdown on a slant, and 2 teams which I thought were poised to make a run this video, the Texans and the Saints, both eliminated before they could even make the top 16. This dude Micah Parsons keeps on jumping from team to team. He's like a military family. Will this dude ever just settle down? I mean, this is all I can really expect out of an episode called First to Score. It really is anybody's game. Goodbye, Texans. Goodbye to the Texans' chance of winning their first Imperialism video, but we're going back to Cleveland. The Browns will be taking their armies towards the southwest, and by doing so, that's the collision with the Chicago Bears. Keep in mind, the Bears have the artillery power-up, which means the Browns cannot win this game on a field goal. They have to hit the end zone, but that doesn't seem like a challenge because every single team today has one on a touchdown, it seems like. Well, you know what? Why would it even matter if the Browns didn't win on a touchdown? Because they don't even get the ball first. Here's Lamar Jackson and the Chicago Bears, a complete completion to put him inside Browns territory with his completion to Everett. Lamar Jackson on 3rd down and 8 can't lose field goal position here, and he's gonna run for a fumble. Oh my goodness, Lamar, you had one job. The Bears would be taking home a victory right now if Lamar Jackson didn't have potato wedges for fingers, but here's Deshaun Watson back on the field. He has to score a touchdown. Not a good start. 3rd down and 11, have to get a completion here. There it is. That's gonna give us to midfield. Amon-Ra St. Brown with the catch. They want more. Here's another completion. This one's to Amari Cooper at the 33. Just got to prevent them from hitting the end zone, which is going to be close here, and it's a touchdown, man. The Bears were given a power-up to help them, and they still couldn't do anything with it. Lamar Jackson just completely sold Chicago. Realistically, the more valued acquisition would be Lamar Jackson, but after he just sold away the city of Chicago, I could not do that to Cleveland, so we're just going to give Deshaun Watson the protection he should probably start using, if you understand my lingo. Looks like the dirty water they stole from Michigan is now plaguing the entire Midwest. 14 teams remaining will pick up with the New England Patriots. The Patriots do share a border with a power-up. I think they're going to get it. So as you can see, this arrow goes through Connecticut. As we have on the screen right here, Connecticut has the gifted power-up. As for the gifted power-up, it definitely helps determining what team gets it, but this team will 100% automatically always start with the first possession of the game, which definitely will help them scoring first. Once again, another expansion is just as good as the power-up. They're going to get Lamar Jackson. Let's hope he doesn't fumble this time. However, he is in New England, so they're probably just going to call it a tuck roll anyways. New England actually has a chance today. Kind of crazy to say that, but here's the Washington Commanders. They as well can get a power-up, but it's a really small chance. Let's see what happens here. And crazy enough, we're going to have back-to-back power-ups being used. Washington's going to get the expansion to Delaware to give them the Double Trouble power-up. Double Trouble shows its use when you end up winning games, because instead of stealing one player, you get to steal 2 players for every successful invasion. Well, I guess as they always say, if you can't beat them, make sure to steal their players, because the Commanders now have Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. Might as well just bring back the Cowboys at this point. Here's the Buffalo Bills. Arrow's going to point towards the northeast, and this will leave us with our final battle of New York. It's the Buffalo Bills and the New York Giants. We know how important it is for a team to start with the football first. The Giants on a 3rd down and 10, and it throws an interception. Daniel Jones, come on now. Surprisingly, this is the first pick we've seen today. I'm not surprised it's Daniel Jones, but don't you worry, Mr. Pick himself is walking onto the field right now. Josh Allen from the 36 between the numbers to James Cook. Yeah, they're in field goal range. Game over. And for the touchdown to win the game, there it is. Bills win the Dawson Knox. Believe it or not, this is the 3rd New York team today that Sauce Gardner has played with. And so goodbye, Giants. You kind of overstayed your welcome, to be honest. And now 13 remaining teams, we're going to Carolina. The Panthers will be going up north, which leaves us with probably the matchup of all time. Yeah, they're going to the nation's capital for the Commanders and Panthers. And if you forgot already, like I did, at quarterback for the Panthers is Bryce Young himself. Actually, I mean Jalen Hurts, the much better version of the scrambling quarterback. He's got a 1st down to the 48. 2nd and 12 for Jalen Hurts between the numbers. Completion. Adam Thielen inside field goal range and more to the 29. Holding penalty backed him up 10 yards. Doesn't seem like much of a problem, however, because they're going to get all of it back right here and some more. It's going to be 2nd and 1 at the 8. And 2nd and 1 from the 8, looking for the end zone shot or a scramble. Jalen Hurts has the outside edge, and he has the touchdown. The Panthers will beat the Commanders. Well, I'm sure CeeDee Lamb enjoyed his 3-minute stay in Washington, D.C. Well, so much for the Double Trouble power-up. It definitely works better when you don't have to score first, you just have to win the game. And so, quick map update with top 12 teams. Not to concern anybody, but the Panthers have a legitimate chance today. Here's the Minnesota Vikings. Do they want to claim the final power-up remaining? Don't think so. Instead, they'll like to attack somebody. It's going to be the Cleveland Browns versus the Minnesota Vikings. Cleveland starts a possession. They have 3 X-Factor wide receivers, it seems like, going down the field. A shot for one of them, but Amari Cooper couldn't bring it in. I mean, with a receiving core like this, all those stars I see on the ground, somebody's got to be open on this 3rd down and 6, but not unless Deshaun Watson takes a sack off the blitz. Minnesota gets the football. 2nd and 10 for rookie quarterback, and this is going to be intercepted. Cleveland's going to get the ball back. J.J. McCarthy throws a pick, giving the Browns the ball at their own 30. And it's actually Minnesota's 30, so essentially this game is already over, and this is going to be picked off again. Never mind, we're continuing. Well, we have 3 interceptions in a row. J.J. McCarthy, please don't make it happen. Okay, good. A completion to Jordan Addison, and he has some open space. He gets to the 46. Play action down the middle of the field. This time it's Justin Jefferson, and he gets past a tackle, and he's going to run for the end zone. The Vikings will steal this one right back. After that interception, they score first. They win in Cleveland. This is going to leave a lot of good players in the free agency pool, but I just gave him an X-Factor running back in Nick Chubb. Did somebody ask for a little bit of purple rain over the Great Lakes? So who's going to clinch into the top 10? Here's the San Francisco 49ers for the first time today. Niners are going towards the north. This will give them an expansion of free player, but now they share a border with the Seattle Seahawks, who they have to score twice on to win. Well, since Brandon Ayuk wants to act like he's better than everybody else, here's your replacement. It's Amon-Ra St. Brown. Good to see the Niners involved. Now we just need to see the Raiders. We might see them though because we have the Seahawks. But more than likely, this is probably a matchup of the San Francisco 49ers. So let's just hope acquiring Amon-Ra St. Brown was enough for the Niners' case to beat the Seattle Seahawks by scoring twice. Thankfully for the Niners, they do start with the football, but Brock Purdy's in a little bit of trouble, and he fumbles the football. That's one way to get eliminated in one single play. I mean, what is this? Aaron Rodgers lasted longer than this last year against the Bills in week 1. What the hell? I mean, how do you let that happen, Brock Purdy? The Seattle Seahawks advance with this field goal. Nick Bosa on the left end, Micah Parsons at the right end. Good to see the Legion of Boom is back and active. The Niners couldn't even score one possession, so they definitely weren't scoring on two. It's going to be hard to beat the Seahawks today. So welcome to the top 10 today. The Seahawks, Raiders, Chargers, Panthers, Chiefs, Vikings, Dolphins, Steelers, Bills, and Patriots. Who will win? So underway with the top 10, here is the Raiders for the first time today. Hopefully they'll make a better run than the San Francisco 49ers. I think they have to play the Seahawks as well. I mean, yeah, this is just brutal, especially if you're being your first game on today. This is just kind of like skill-based matchmaking in current Call of Duty. This is just not fair. We'll have zero hope in Vegas unless they rig it like they always do. Let's just see if they can score twice before the Seahawks score once. They're going to get one right now. If the Seahawks score, though, they will. It doesn't matter, unfortunately. And so the Seahawks will add an X-Factor wide receiver in Devontae Adams. I mean, what just an absolutely unfortunate loss for the Vegas Raiders. They did everything they were supposed to. They scored first. It's just my fault that I created one of the most overpowered power-ups in Imperialism history, being insurance. You know, if I'm the Chargers or the Panthers in Utah, my timbers are getting shivered right now because we have an absolutely tank of a team getting built up on the West Coast, and you gotta score twice on them. Did I mention you have to score twice to beat the Seahawks? Here's the Kansas City Chiefs. Rain or shine, this team is still gonna be really hard to beat. They're going towards the West Coast. And yeah, this arrow essentially just bridges the gap straight into the Carolina Panthers cloned land in Utah. Let's just see who wins this one against the Chiefs and Panthers. Not a good looking start for the Carolina Panthers. It's a 3rd down and 17 from their own 18-yard line. Do not want to give the ball back to the Chiefs, but Jalen Hurts will lose even more yards. It's a 4th and 28 at their own 7. And so now this star-studded offense with Christian McCaffrey, Patrick Mahomes, and Travis Kelce and more will take the field, and they're already in field goal range with this catch at the 37. So from the 21, another pass. This one's going to be the end zone for a touchdown. 3 consecutive passes from Mahomes, and the Chiefs will beat the Panthers off in Utah. Did I seriously just say beat the Panthers off? You know, that's funny because the last state anyone's getting beaten off in is Utah. But anyways, the Chiefs will get CeeDee Lamb. But anyways, this does not beat off the Panthers on the map. The Chiefs will just take over the land that was cloned by the Panthers. They're still alive in the East Coast. Still remaining at 9 total teams, and here is the Seattle Seahawks once again. Chances are they'll get an expansion here, which definitely hurts the rest of the league, or they go down south. Well, it looks like the Seahawks are fading the expansion. They'd rather play a matchup. They're going to take on the LA Chargers. Well, if any team wants a chance against the Seahawks, they have to score first on this first possession. They get the ball first, but they cannot capitalize. Already a 3rd and 13. Come on, Herbo, you have to keep the drive alive. This is just a dump down pass, 4th and 15 to Cooper Kupp. That's going to do nothing. Seattle gets the ball. Looks like the Chargers are still fighting for this one. It looks like we're going to have, should have been an interception. It was just tossed around the air, but still the Seahawks are punting the football. Still looking for that first score, and oh my goodness, Justin Herbert throws a pick. I mean, yes, the Seahawks have the most overpowered power, but is any team going to give them a run for the money? What are we doing here? These teams are just sucking against the Seahawks. Well, here's the field goal to advance the Seahawks even further today. I mean, why does it even matter to score twice if you can't even score once, Chargers? And now the Seahawks have the greatest defensive front ever assembled. They're so good now that I had to move Nick Bosa to the left outside linebacker position because they just added Micah Parsons. So now the Seahawks own complete control on the West Coast, and they're starting to wrap around the Southwest as well. And so here's the top 8 teams. So kicking off the top 8 teams, we're going to Minnesota. Is it time to get the Afterlife power up? It will be close. Unfortunately, they chose the wrong Dakota, but still they're going to get an expansion and a free player. Probably would have been smarter to give the Vikings a quarterback, but still, you know what? You can't complain with 97 overall Max Crosby. Next selection will land on the Miami Dolphins. It's definitely been a minute since we've last seen the Dolphins, and they will be traveling up the East Coast. And that's clear as day a matchup with the Carolina Panthers. The Dolphins are traveling to Charlotte. Dolphins looking for a first down, a blitz incoming, and not enough. Tyreek Hill is open to the 44. Tua runs play action, stays in the flat, completes this one to Jalen Waddle. First down to the 44 of the Panthers side. Well, this is gutsy. It's a 4th down and 2, and the offense is staying out for the Miami Dolphins. It would be about a 50-yard kick. They're going to run play action. It's a pass, but it's completed, and some more. We're going to get to the 10-yard line by Miami. What a call by Mike McDaniel. Raheem Mostert trying to find the edge. He breaks a tackle, and he gets into the end zone. The Miami Dolphins will finally take down the Carolina Panthers. Yeah, I kind of forgot how good the Dolphins secondary is in this video. They already had Jalen Ramsey, Jordan Poyer, and Jesse Bates. Now they add Patrick Surtain. I'd say the Dolphins and the Seahawks currently have the best defenses alive right now. They are the ones most poised to win this episode. 7 more teams to go. Here is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's been a minute since we've last seen them. What do they decide to do? They're attacking the East Coast. And by East Coast, I mean the other half of the state that they're currently in, Pennsylvania, into New York against the Buffalo Bills. Bills and Steelers. The Bills have to crawl out of the gutter here. They're starting for their own 8-yard line. They can't gain anything, and they're at a 3rd down and 4. Passing on first down, completion, and more to midfield. Dawson Knox cannot break the the second tackle, but he would have been gone if so, to the 47. Now 2nd down and 10, gonna pass again, but no, he's gonna get taken down for a loss of 8 yards, 3rd and 18. That backs them up to their own 45, still having a little trouble setting up this play, but actual good yardage. Will James Cook get the 1st down? I don't know, there's a flag coming in late. This could be a face mask. I lied, it's holding. This is going backwards unless they decline it. Interestingly enough, the Steelers declined the penalty, a 4th down and 3, and now the Bills are gonna go for it, which it looks like they will complete it. Why not just accept the penalty and back them up 10 more yards? I don't know, they just lost on that. By far the stupidest thing that happened today. The chances of converting a 3rd down and 28 compared to a 4th down and 3 is completely different. And so here's the field goal to win it for the Buffalo Bills. An absolutely horrible decision by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and that just cost them in today's video. And so now the Bills will add TJ Watt at the left outside linebacker position, which now means the Buffalo Bills will share a border with the Minnesota Vikings. And now for the final 6 teams, we will begin with the Seahawks. The Seattle Seahawks will be traveling towards their right, which will give them an expansion to the state of Montana. And now the Seahawks are going to add firepower in their offense now with George Kittle at tight end. Next up will be the Minnesota Vikings. Will they even get the afterlife power up? And I don't think so. I mean, the Vikings are seriously doing everything except going to South Dakota. They're going to get another expansion, but this is going to Nebraska, not the state with the power up. We're just going to go ahead and stack up the wide receiving room in Minnesota, adding Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 2. What do they decide to do? They will attack towards the northeast, which will bring them into Vikings territory going through Illinois. Hopefully Minnesota would not regret not picking up the afterlife power up. Kansas City already off to a good start at the 39-yard line. Mahomes will stay short right here. This is a Christian McCaffrey. We're already cross midfield. And short for Kansas City. Mahomes is going to pass the football. Looks like he's going to stay short and has an easy completion to CMC. 2nd and 9, completion and more. Rashee Rice wins it against the Minnesota Vikings. If you want a valid NBA comparison to this is essentially Kevin Durant joining the 2016 Golden State Warriors. And now a sea of red in Kansas City essentially owns the entire Great Lakes and Mississippi Valley region from head to toe. Our final 5 teams, and we're going to Buffalo. A handful of options for the Buffalo Bills. What do they decide on? They're going to go up to New England. Or so I thought, because this arrow just barely hits Vermont. This is an expansion for the Bills. Definitely a huge positional upgrade for the Bills to protect the right side of Josh Allen. We have Zach Martin. The Patriots dodge a bullet, but they're going to have to play him eventually. Here they are right now. The Patriots do have an opportunity to expand. Let's see what happens here. And, well, that's exactly what happens. That's an expansion to New Hampshire. And so the New England Patriots, who haven't even played a single game yet, they're going to add Max Crosby. Only 5 unclaimed states remaining. Here is the Miami Dolphins. More than likely a matchup with the Kansas City Chiefs. I think so. That arrow does land in Alabama, giving us a matchup between the Dolphins and Chiefs. Do not rule the Dolphins out. Remember, they have such a stacked secondary, which can definitely stop Patrick Mahomes. Surely enough, Patrick Mahomes does start with the football. Let's see if this Dolphins defense can give him a little bit of trouble. Yes, they will. Here's an interception. I think it's Xavier Howard. He's not even an X factor. No, it's Kyle Fuller. He got the pick. I just messed up his name twice. It's Kendall Fuller with the interception. Now, as long as Tua doesn't do the exact same thing, we should be fine. Here's a 1st down and more. Going towards the end zone. Can't break 3 tackles, but he falls at the 1. And to win the game in upsetting fashion, there it is. The Raheem Mostert to win this game for the Miami Dolphins and knock out the Kansas City Chiefs. It only took one play to determine that the Dolphins are the no-fly zone in today's video. Patrick Mahomes on the first play in offense threw a pick. Dolphins take over. After that one-and-done pick by Patrick Mahomes, it proves he's not worthy to be taken, so Christian McCaffrey is now a Miami Dolphin. And to bring us to our final 4 teams, the Seahawks, Dolphins, Bills, and Patriots, another huge map change in the entire Great Lakes region and Midwestern region just turned sky blue. We live in a society where the Patriots just outlasted the defending Super Bowl champions. Back to the Buffalo Bills. So yes, that arrow was much closer to the New England Patriots. Remember, they have the gifted power-up, which means they automatically start with the football. They were probably going to get it first because they're at home anyways, but you can't complain. In case you forgot, Lamar Jackson is the quarterback of the Patriots, and he's yet to play a game with these colors. He's been on like 3 teams so far, and he's failed them every single time, but not this time. Look at this run right here. 1st and 10 to the 46 by Gibson. The Patriots closing in on midfield. Lamar Jackson's actually going to pass the football, believe it or not, and he has a 1st down going to the flat to the 39. One more 1st down should at least do the trick. They're going to go for it right here, and after the run, trying to fight for it, they got it. And so that allows the Patriots to kick a field goal from the 28-yard line. It's about a 35-yard kick. Pretty routine for an NFL kicker, and that means that the New England Patriots, who haven't played a single game today, have made it into the top 3. Welcome to First to Score edition. This is completely stupid. Yeah, I think I learned that defensive pickups are much better, especially in today's episode, so that's why the Patriots are getting Sauce Gardner. So I went ahead and fixed the presentation for our final 3 teams on the map, the Seahawks, Dolphins, and Patriots. Who will win? The final 3 teams, we are going to New England. Alright, whatever it's closest to. They have a possibility of an expansion or the Miami Dolphins. I think this is closer to to the Dolphins. I mean, not only is this arrow closer to the Dolphins, it actually even hits their land. It hits the upper peninsula, which means the Seattle Seahawks have clinched a championship berth. This matchup is to see who will play the Seahawks. The Patriots start with the football first. Can Lamar single-handedly carry this team to a championship berth? We're starting with a first down to the 38. 38-yard line, up the middle, completion inside Dolphins territory to the 44. Now at the 29, Lamar Jackson's gonna pass the football, goes on a slant. This is another first down. They're getting closer and closer. Well, the drive got stopped at the 14-yard line. Just a chip shot to send him to the championship game against the Seattle Seahawks. The Patriots somehow, I don't even know how this happened. And so our final player steal today will be an explosive one. It's gonna be Tyreek Hill. Well, we're about to see a whole lot more land change once again. And this is what we're looking at. It's a rematch of Super Bowl 49. Hopefully, if the Seahawks make it to the 1-yard line, they'll run the ball this time. So there's still a real possibility we can see an expansion or even a power-up. Let's just see what's going to be landed on here. It's going to be Seattle. Their only chance of expansion is Oklahoma. Does it go that way? Not quite. It will go through Colorado, so we'll go ahead and have this matchup. Remember, both these teams have the power-ups insured and gifted. The Patriots will start with the football, but they have to score twice on Seattle. This is going to be a tough win for them if so. So if I'm the Patriots, I want to at least score first here, but that's going to be some trouble with Myles Garrett coming in for a sack, a loss of 6 yards on the very first play of this game. I mean, you just cannot give this ball back to Seattle without scoring one single point. Almost took another sack, but got it out in time. It's going to be a 3rd down and 5 from the 30. Lamar to pass, needing 5 yards, airs this one out, and it's a completion to the 49. Lamar to pass again. Never mind, he will not pass. He'll lose 6 yards once again on another sack. So needing 13 yards for the completion, already getting chased down, and he had to get rid of it, and the Patriots will be punting the football. Are they going to pass the football? Yes, they will. Geno Smith the throw, and he throws an interception. Is this going to return for a pick 6? It's not going to win it, but if they get points on the board for the Patriots, this is exactly what they needed. 6 on the board for Sauce Gardner with a pick 6. Seahawks get the ball back, however. So now we're back up to even strength. All it matters is a score first for any team. Seattle, no panic, but they want to get on the board here. Here's a run by Kenneth Walker. He just goes straight for a first down to the 38. They have to be careful throwing it to the side of Sauce Gardner. He has his X Factor on. That was going that way, but it's a first down to George Kittle to the midfield 49. Next play up, it's going to be a play action pass for Geno. Good play design right there. It's going to go to Devontae Adams. Picks up 8 to the 41. Maybe Patriots still have a chance if they can get a stop or a sack right here. It's 3rd and 7 from the 34. Geno Smith actually backs up, throws a pass, completes it. It's going to be 4th and 2. Field goal kick coming up from the 29. Oh my goodness. Madden is actually going for it. Imagine if they do not pick up this 4th down and 2 from the 29. Geno Smith steps up, gonna run for it. He has it. They're well in range now. Any play now will win it for Seattle. 3rd down and goal from the 3. Handoff to Kenneth Walker. Can't get it. Oh, they might go for it from the 1 and 4th down and goal. So if the Seahawks do not convert here, they'll be getting the ball back to the Patriots for a chance for them to win. 4th and goal from the 1-yard line. It's a pass. Broken up. The Patriots get the ball back. I mean, history repeats itself, but Lamar Jackson's not in the clear yet. He's in the gutters at the 1-yard line as safety would lose this game. Okay, he gets some breathing room. 2nd and 6 from the 5. From the 5-yard line, another handoff. No, it's play action. Lamar goes down with the safety, and the Seattle Seahawks will win. First to score Imperialism. Come on now. That is back-to-back embarrassing plays by both teams. The fact that this is how this video ends too. Myles Garrett just came flying in from the outside, takes down Lamar, and the Seattle Seahawks win on a safety. That has to be one of the most goofiest endings to a video I have ever made, but now the Seattle Seahawks will take control of all of the United States, and now for the best part, coloring in the map neon green. Well, what a run by Seattle. Thankfully, however, they got the most broken Imperialism power-up I ever created, and that 100% won it for them, but you know what? It was still an enjoyable experience all throughout the video. And like I said in the intro, this is part of the mainline NFL Imperialism series, which means stats and standings will be counted from today's episode, so we're about to see a lot of movement on the leaderboard, so let's go to it right now. So now for one of my favorite parts of Imperialism, it's the leaderboards at the end. If you do not know how it works, here's basically a metric right here. It's called Imperialism points, so every turn lasts at a point. Win is 10 points, expansion 5 points. You win an episode, you get 50 points, but if you lose, you subtract 10 points. So for example, I have the Chiefs right here. Imagine this is their stat line. It's not actually their stat line, but you do the math. They get 243 Imperialism points, and that's how I determine the standings. So let's take a look at all teams on the leaderboards. So beginning from last place to 25th, our new last place team is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, sitting at 29 IP, 79 turns lasted, and a 3-9-2 record. But the Colts are not getting off the hook because they're not looking too much better, but at least they did jump the Buccaneers to get the 31st spot. spot. Now, to my surprise, the Lions at 30th is actually crazy. I do expect this to start going up, especially when Madden 25 comes out. They'll definitely be a much better team then. As for 29 through 25, the Steelers, Browns, Jaguars, Giants, and Jets. Jaguars and Jets both trending down 4 spots from the last episode. Let's move over to the next slide, 24 to 17. We have a lot of trends right here. You can see the Cardinals and Rams, they're trending down 6 and 4 respectively. Not a good episode for both of them. The Bears stay the same at 22. You have the Eagles, and then you have the Vikings and Commanders, both trending up 5 spots. They did pretty well in this video. The Falcons went down 3 spots, and the Saints went up 2. I was expecting New Orleans to go up much higher because they had a lot of expansions, and they did have a win or 2 in this episode. But for the most part, all these teams are actually really close in Imperialism points. It could just take one episode, and they can jump everybody. As you can see, the Cardinals at the last place in the 24th on this slide has 139, as the Saints only have about 20 more. But let's move into our next slide, our heavy hitters, starting with the top 16. The Saints and Titans at 15 and 16, they're trending down. The Patriots, who made it all the way to the championship, even though they only played like 2 games, they only ended up trending up 2 spots, which is crazy, but they do have 200 Imperialism points. The Panthers at 13 is kind of funny because they are the first team in Imperialism history to land a Imperialism triple-double. They have 10 wins, 10 losses, and 10 expansions. And to give you an idea how bad the Seahawks have been in this series, they trended up 15 spots for winning today's episode. And look at the record. They're still not over 500. They desperately needed this win today, and it's going to put them at the 12th spot with 225 Imperialism points. But at the 11th, the Broncos are starting to trend down. This is what happens when you can't expand. The Bills go up, and the Chiefs go up to 9, and the Chiefs are actually the highest rated team without an Imperialism win. But here is the top 8. We had a few changes, including the Bengals going down 1 and the Green Bay Packers going down 3. The Chargers end up going up 2. The Raiders stay in the top 5 somehow, and you have the Ravens going down, the Dolphins going up, and our top 2 teams remain the same, and it's probably going to be like this for a minute unless the Niners get topped next episode. But the Cowboys are not moving for a minute. They are still up by around 70 to 80 points with a total of 424 Imperialism points, 229 turns lasted, and a 1999 record, which is crazy because they got eliminated like turn 4 today. But by the time we get to our next NFL Imperialism, which will be episode 10 in the mainline series, the Niners could definitely lose that 2 spot. Look at the Dolphins, look at the Ravens, they're not too far off. As always, thank you guys for watching another NFL Imperialism episode. If you watched this far, thank you, and you get a hint for what's to come because College Football 25 will be my next video. I will be taking a trip to California. When I get back, I'm hitting the road with some college football content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.